Okay. In previous classes, we learned about the time cycle. We learned about who was the first human, when the first human was born, when the last human will breathe in this universe, how long the universe keep running, and when God destroy this universe, and after how long time he recreate that. Now you know that the end of the universe is not near 2021. We have a lot of long time to live. Now another question comes: what are the Vedic scriptures, and which book or which scripture is a part of Veda? We usually follow the word Vedic scripture. It is a Vedic science. It is a Vedic book. So what are the Vedic scriptures? We'll go deep into that. After the destruction of the universe, God waited for 4,320,000,000 years. That was the night of Brahma. He waited for that long time. And when the night was about to end, God decided to create another universe. So he again created it. He made the stars, planets, satellites. This process, this overall process to create the galaxies, to create the stars, the planets, satellites, this took 12,960,000 years. So it took 12,960,000 years. In this duration, planets, certain planets in this universe, they were getting ready for the life. They were calming down. When the temperature was cooled down, the environment started there. So God created environment there. After then, he created water. When water calmed down, then there were oceans and land separated. After that, he created plants, animals, birds, and at last, he created humans. Now, after creating humans, there was another question. See, that was the first generation. So, to the first generation, by birth, God blessed them with the basic knowledge of life, as He gives to the animals and birds. But God has a discipline system. He doesn't want to give the knowledge to everyone by birth. So, He needed to create a system. For that, He had to make a constitution, a book of rules. The rules humans and every other living being has to follow. So he gave the knowledge of Veda, the four Veda, Rig Veda, Yajur Ved, Sam Ved, and Atharva Ved. The four Ved, the knowledge of these Veda, God gave to humans. Om is the name of God. He gave the knowledge of four Veda. The knowledge of Rig Veda was given to the Rishi Agni. There were so many humans, but to connect with them, God needed someone with a pure mind, with a pure heart, someone who has a balanced and healthy Annamay, Pranamay, Manomay, Vijnanamay Kosh. Only then the person can reach to Anandamay Kosh and connect with God. The knowledge of Yajurveda he gave to Vayu Rishi. He selected these four humans out of all those humans born in that time, just so he could share the knowledge with them, because he needed to share the knowledge of Vedas with the humans. He gave the knowledge of Samveda to Rishi Aditya and the knowledge of Atharva Veda to Rishi Angira. The knowledge of four Vedas were given to four rishis. Now, knowledge is something, it comes to you so that you can forward it to the next generation. So the four rishis, they understood their responsibilities and they started sharing the knowledge with others. There was one sharp student, one bright student was there. He learned the knowledge of Rishi Agni, Rishi Vayu, Rishi Aditya, and Rishi Angira. He learned all the four Vedas. He was named Brahma, the first Brahma on this planet. He was such a bright human. He learned all the knowledge of four Vedas. And after learning, he started sharing the knowledge to his disciples. And that is how the Guru Shishya lineage, the Guru disciple lineage system started. Brahma did another important task. He knew that the Veda mantra are in coded form. So you need to decode those mantras to develop more, to extract more knowledge out of them. So he wrote for Upaveda, the subdivision of Veda. He created Ayurveda from Rigveda. He created Dhanurveda from Yajurveda. He created Gandharva Veda from Samveda. And he created Arthveda from Atharvaveda. Now, this Arthveda, all of you must have heard about Chanakya Niti, Kautilya Shastra. Acharya Chanakya wrote a beautiful book on economics. That is, he actually read the Atharva Veda and he simplified it. He again wrote another book for the humans of that time. So Chanakya Niti is just compilation of some knowledge from Arthveda. Okay. Now after Upavedas, there were other rishis, as we learned that Brahma shared the knowledge with his disciples and they also shared the knowledge with their disciples. Now there is another system you have to understand. The knowledge God gave to the rishis, that was called Veda. Whereas the when Rishi shared it with Brahma, Rishi also, the purest knowledge they shared with Brahma. So that was also called Veda. But when Brahma, he shared that same knowledge to his disciples, now he also included his personal experiences into that. So that was called Shastra. When his disciples, they shared the knowledge with their disciples, that was called Anushastra. That is why when in the Yoga Darshan, Maharshi Patanjali says, Atha Yoga Nushashanam, means now I am sharing the knowledge of yoga, which was shared by the disciples of Lord Brahma to their disciples. That knowledge which is coming from past generations to me, this knowledge I am forwarding to you, I am sharing with you. So that is why the Anushashan is another synonym for Anushastra. Okay. Now, those disciples of Brahma, they again created many scriptures from Veda mantra. So they created Vedanga, the six limbs of Veda, because for an ordinary human, learning Veda mantra was quite difficult. So they created Vedanga, the six limbs of Veda or six ladders. These are the steps. If you follow these, you can reach to Veda, you can connect with Veda. So the first limb was Siksha. Siksha is like the nose. So with nose, you breathe air. And when you breathe air, then you are alive. You are only alive because you are able to breathe air from your nose. So there are so many shiksha, so many education system given by various rishis like Panini, Yajanvalyak, Mandukya, etc. Today in India, this is unfortunate that we follow the education system created by a Western Macaulay. So that is the unfortunate thing we have here. But the Vedic education system we must follow are given by Maharishi Panini, Yajanvalyak, Mandukya, etc. The second limb was Jyotish. Now, Jyotish is called the eye of Veda. With eyes you see. So the same way with Jyotish, you are able to see in your life. A human who doesn't have the knowledge of Jyotish is compared to a blind man. Now, what is Jyotish? Is Jyotish about astronomy, calculations of stars and astral bodies, etc.? No, it is not. In Veda, Jyotish word is used for psychology. Jyotish is used to develop the logical thinking or reasoning in a person. So Jyotish Vigyan help you understand the psychology of other people. Jyotish Vigyan help you to develop that logical thinking process in yourself. After Jyotish comes Vyakaran. Vyakaran is like the mouth. It makes you capable to speak and grasp what others are giving to you. Mouth does both the things. So Vyakaran, it is the Vedic grammar, Sanskrit grammar. After that comes Nirukta. Nirukta are like ears. They make you capable to understand others, to understand the Veda mantra, what you are hearing. Then comes Kalp. Kalp are like hands. They make you capable to do action, to do karma. So kar, the word in Sanskrit is kar for hand. So kar means karma, do some action, do something. So kalp help you to do the right action in your life. And at the end comes chanda, which makes you walk. And also the legs represent stability in life. They provide you stability in your life. After Vedanga comes Darshan, the Vedic philosophy. There are total 6 philosophy: Purv Mimamsa, Uttar Mimamsa, Nyaya Darshan, Sankhya Darshan, Yoga Darshan, and Vaisheshik Darshan. This Purv Mimamsa, this is the original Mimamsa. This is the original Mimamsa, which was basically written by Maharishi Jaimini. Uttar Mimamsa, that was written by Maharishi Vedavyas. Basically, Uttar Mimamsa is what you today know as the Brahma Sutra and Vedanta Darshan. Those are the parts of Uttar Mimamsa, or Uttar Mimamsa is also known as Brahma Sutra and Vedanta Darshan. Okay, the Vedanta philosophy, that is not something unique someone has done. That is just the Uttar Mimamsa written by Maharishi Vedavyas. Okay, after that comes Nyaya philosophy, which is written by Maharishi Gautam. Maharishi Kapil, he wrote Sankhya Darshan, Sankhya philosophy. Maharshi Patanjali, he wrote Yoga philosophy. Kanad Rishi, he wrote Vaisheshik Darshan. So these are the philosophies we must know, we must learn. Most importantly, out of these 6, my favorite one is Nyaya philosophy. Why I love this so much? Because Nyaya philosophy help you do justice. It helps you to differentiate what is right, what is wrong. It helps you to categorize the right and wrong so you can let go of the wrong and accept the right in your life. And if you want to connect with God, if you want to build up that divine connection with Him, if you want to reach or fulfill your Anandamaya Kosh, then you need to develop logic in you. And that is what Nyaya Darshan is doing. After then comes the knowledge Brahma Vidya. We all want to know God. We all are curious to connect with God. But how is that possible? How you can connect with God? Huh? That is a big question there. Now, there are some other informations all of you must understand, which is very, very important. To connect with God, to connect with the Supreme Being, you have to learn Upanishad. The 6 philosophies, they will not directly take you to God. You have to learn Upanishad, the 11 Upanishad available there. What are Upanishad? What are their names? There is a good shloka which helps me remember the names of the Upanishad in the right sequence. Ishakena katha prashna munda munda katettari etreyam shveta swara cha Chandogyam, Brihadaranyakam Tatha. So there are, the first Upanishad is Ish, then Ken Upanishad, then Kat Upanishad, then Prashna Upanishad, then Mundak Upanishad, then Mandukya Upanishad, then Tetri Upanishad, then Aitareya Upanishad, then Chandogya, then Sweta Swara Upanishad, and Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Now we have to understand one thing here. These Upanishads are in a story form. So the knowledge of Veda about God, how to connect with Him, the knowledge of life, the knowledge part of Veda, the spiritual part of Veda is collected in the Upanishad in the story form so that anyone can learn them easily. But even for that, you have to first learn Jyotish and develop logic in yourself. That is very important if you want to connect with God. So these are the Upanishad which you have to learn. Now, what is the right way to read Veda? First of all, as per the Rishi's instructions, first of all, you must read the Itihas Granth, means the scripture of history. So there is Mahabharata, Ramayana. These all scriptures are history parts. They are not the part of Veda. They are separate. They are separately, they are created. They are the history parts only. They are the history. So Veda, the knowledge of Veda was given by God in the starting of the creation. Before those humans, there were no other humans. So there was no history. Getting my point? So here in the history scriptures, the history is given. Bhagavad Gita is the part of Mahabharata. Many times I see people make a mistake. They say that Gita is a Vedic text, or it is a part of Veda, or it is greater than Veda. There are so many questions. See, history, this is the last step. This is the stair. This is the ladder by which you will reach to Veda. Bhagavad Gita comes into Mahabharata, which is a part of history. So this is the lowest level. Gita is not greater than Veda. You have to understand, right? So Bhagavad Gita is part of the history book and it is just a history. It is not a Veda. You have to understand that. After then come Upanishad. After when you learn Ramayana and Mahabharata, logical analysis of them, then you must learn Upanishad. Now, what are Upanishad? They are the part of Brahman Granth. And about Brahman, you can understand the definition. Brahmana ayam iti Brahmana. Something which is related to the Brahma is Brahman. Brahma is God. So there are words of God, Veda. So something which interprets the knowledge of Veda in simple form is called Upanishad. I hope now it is more clear to all of you. Something which interprets knowledge of Veda in simple form is Upanishad. Okay. Now, after Upanishad, after learning the 11 Upanishad, you must learn the six philosophy, darshan. After that, you must learn the Vedanga, the six limbs of Veda. Now, in that, there are many important parts. For example, Kalp. Kalp have four parts in it. There are Brahman part, there is Aranyak, there are Sutra and Smriti. So Smriti is like Jaimini Smriti, etc. we have. And there is Jaimini Sutra we have. And Manu Smriti is there, that is a part of Smriti. Jaimini Sutra are there. Brahman Granth are of each Veda. There is Aitareya, Shatpat, Gopath, Sankhya, etc. These so many Brahman Granth also we have. So all of these, until you study all of these, the six Vedanga, until you master, you cannot learn Veda. After learning the six Vedanga, then you go to learn Upaveda. So if you want to become Ayurvedic doctor, first you have to learn Itihas, then Upanishad, then Darshan, then Vedanga, then you will learn Ayurveda. Are you following the practice? That is why 99% Ayurvedic practitioners in today's world are not capable to cure any disease. The reason because they have not learned the basics before that. And Ayurveda is useless if you have not mastered Itihas Granth, Upanishad, Darshan, and Vedanga. Then Ayurveda is of no use. So After the Upaveda comes the knowledge of Veda. When you clear this path, then you must open the Veda mantra. You must listen them from your Guru and you must try to interpret them, try to understand the meaning of Veda mantra. And that is how at the end you connect with God. This is the Vedic path. Om is the name of Brahma. Om is the name of God. We must keep reading Vedas. We must do yajna every day, morning and evening. We must help the needy ones, animals and humans. That is the only way to reach to Om, to make a connection with their Supreme Being.